following podcast may contain explicit language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. So guys, you guys excited for Halloween? I know it's been a bit rough getting ready for the fall and everything. Wait. It's still summer? And why are we having a horror show in July? Like, I know Christmas in July is a thing, but I don't know about Halloween. Anyway, welcome back to the Shoot Stel Sauna, episode 19. Coming up on 20, closer and closer. Again, as always, joined by the king of Shoot Style, the real sauna host, Stel. And today we have the usual lineup of Eric.
How we doing?
And we have Schmidt, as usual, as well.
What's up?
How we all doing today, boys?
Doing all right. Working a lot. A little tired, but it's all part of the life.
Yeah, especially now that New Hampshire has stuff like more open now, because obviously
a
lot of stuff has been changing recently, and of course can and can't be open. So hopefully it's been safe. I don't know what it's like up where you are, but I'd imagine it's been all right.
So far.
All right, good. And Schmidt, how about you?
I just woke up. I told them I could work, but they haven't put me on the schedule for the next 2 weeks, so whatever.
Very much stay-at-home thing. That's unfortunate, but like, you know, I don't want to be at my job either, to be honest. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about wrestling, you know, that thing we all like too much. Anyway, looking at the headlines really quick, let's go through the one count, starting with new U.S. Championship design. So this is something I don't think any of us have really talked about, like, as a group. What do we all think about it?
I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't hate it as much as I hate the new Intercontinental title design. I think I'm just so used to the old U.S. title design that it's just weird right now. I gotta get used to it.
Yeah, Schmidt, what about you?
I actually really like it a lot, especially with the eagle on it.
It's spread in the center. There was a really cool Photoshop someone did of it where it's like rearranged. I think like the eagle's at the bottom. Like you have champion. No, you have champion at the bottom. You have like the eagle in the middle, and the top is like American like blue with the stars on top. Because there's not really much blue on it right now. That's like my only thing. I like it too. Like I think it's less gaudy than the original one, but I always liked the original US belt anyway. Like it's one I didn't think that really needed to change, but I know some people did want to see it get redesigned because it's been so long. And plus, like almost every belt, except for the tag belts on Raw and SmackDown, have like those customizable side plates. Like SmackDown has the IC one with the side plates now. Both the main titles have the side plate changes, and the women's ones have the side plate changes. So it was only a matter of time until they did it with the mid card belts. Like the IC title, I remember when it first happened, I was like, oh okay, I thought it looked all right, but like the white strap, I thought you couldn't really beat that. But then there's the whole thing. It's like oh, because Cody brought it in, and it's like oh yeah, makes sense. So. It's weird, and we already talked about the match in the pay-per-view predictions, but it should be alright. I think it's good. I think they could have done some things better. Maybe the placement could have been better, but like, it's not bad. Some people compare it like to like some old school titles. Like there was a comparison like the WCW one and like the NWA one.
I was about to say that it's like the shape of it looks more like the classic 80s, 90s NWA, WCW title design.
Yeah. I like that. So it's a good old school nod. And I know it's like championships have like their own modern look. Like you compare the AEW and IWGP heavyweight belt, as we can see in Eric's background, because they look very similar in design. But I think they revealed that on Being the Elite after they revealed the titles that they were influenced by the heavyweight title from New Japan. So they kind of molded the AEW world title around it. And like the tag belts in AEW kind of like ECW based. And I don't think the women's one's kind of like just a mini version of the world title, if you ask me. It's wicked small, and everything else pretty much its own thing. Moving on from that, bit going to people on the side. Charlotte Flair expected to be out longer than expected, unfortunately. She recently revealed that she had to go through, I think, surgery to repair her implants because there was like apparently a leakage, which not fun. It's come from her.
The boob popped again.
Or something. It was leaking apparently, but like it's not like serious what she was talking about. But it looks like she will be out longer than we thought. Because I thought originally that she'd be out to like maybe after this weekend and then be back in some way on TV, but it seems like it's gonna be like a couple months now. So, but like with how I guess like Raw is treating the women right now, like they have more people showing up. It's like they should be okay. Matter of like what like they're given to do because they have a lot of crossover right now with SmackDown because of like a lot of the feuds are interconnecting. Plus the tag champs are always there, so it's interesting what they're doing. But I think they should be fine. It does suck for Flair's sake because. Bit rough, and she's had problems with this before. She had like a whole Twitter thread about like her experiences and stuff like that, And like
Yep.
her as a person, it shows like how much different it is to like her on-screen character. She's like she feels like a lot more less confident IRL, which is weird to think about. Like she's always unsure of things from what I hear, and I'm like, oh shit. Like I wouldn't gauge that based off how she is on TV. I don't know what you guys think, but I just thought it was like kind of newsworthy. Plus, we did talk about her a couple weeks ago.
I think I also saw something that she's going to do a movie or TV show.
Yeah,
coming out.
I don't know what kind. It's a TV show. I don't know if it's a reality TV show or kind of like her own TV show. I have no idea, but it's apparently going to be a thing. I don't know when. I'm sure they'll probably announce it like on the bump or something in the weeks to come because that's what everybody watches. Sticking with, I guess, going across the border over to Jacksonville. Fight for the Fallen happened. It was pretty good, and we also had Fighter Fest 2. Week 2 because we were talking about week 1. Week 2, I think week 1 was better for Fighter Fest. I don't know. I kind of just enjoyed the matches more. But, like, not saying night 2 was bad. Like, the 8-man tag was fun. Main event was pretty good, even though I didn't agree with the finish. But, like, maybe it's because the world title match got moved. I don't know. And everything else, it was good. As for Fight for the Fallen, what'd you guys think? Or who has seen Fight for the Fallen? I should ask that first.
I saw it this Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay.
I have not.
I thought it was okay. I didn't really quite like the ending of the world title match where Taz just threw in the towel.
It's split a lot of opinion, like from what I've seen. I was fine with it because like Cage didn't tap out. He still looks good. Like he wasn't like dead, like on the ground for the whole time afterwards. So like he has something to do with Darby, which I imagine he will win because he's still like the new guy. So it should be really good too because I know Cage can work like a really fast paced style that Darby does because we've seen what he could do an Impact and on Wednesday for that matter because it was a genuinely I thought it was a good match. It's just a finish split a lot of opinion. That was like the only thing about it, but like I think it's fine because like Moxley had a strategy. He went for the arm, and it's like, oh well, it makes sense because he brought it up on TV because like he had a bad arm because what happened at Impact. I'm like, oh, it makes sense. So I had nothing wrong with it. I thought Cage might have won for a bit, but then it's like, oh wait, no, he's playing smart, and then Moxley won. I'm like, you know what, fair enough. I don't know what it leads for Moxley for All Out. Maybe they might keep Cage and Darby in the picture, like maybe like do a triple threat match, or it's gonna be someone else entirely. Who? Not sure. Maybe Lance, because I know he's been kind of like floating around for a bit. I think he's actually number 1 on the singles ranking they release every week, or he's up there because he has like 1 loss, and he's just been winning more since Double or Nothing. But I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what you guys think of that either.
I'm thinking definitely. I think Kenny's gonna get a singles run soon because we're starting to see him come out more as like the cleaner gimmick, and they've even changed. On their on the bio pages, they changed Kenny Omega the Cleaner under his name.
Oh, did they add that?
Yeah.
I looked on the website in a while, so I didn't know that. Because, like, yeah, because they had the match with Jurassic Express, which was pretty good, too. But then, like, there's the whole thing of Marco was, like, getting the better of Kenny for a bit, which I thought was kind of funny. But then they won anyway. And then Kenny was just, like, he beat up him after. And I'm like, oh, that's a bit rough. And the Bucks weren't happy. So it's, like, I don't know what to expect because like they might do it. Maybe they'll save it for like the long term. But I do think like a candidate of someone who can beat Moxley will be like another round of Omega. Who knows how long from now? And maybe Omega's the one that beats him. Maybe it's somebody else. I think it might be MJF, but it depends how they book it. Looks like they might be saving MJF's like main event push for a long time, considering he's still really young.
Yeah,
but he's also like proven himself to be very capable.
Yeah, and I think just with Moxley's, personal issues and stuff at home, I don't know. It's kind of uncertain what the title picture is going to be from here on out.
And, well, TNT title wise, we like almost never know each week, like we did, because it's always the open challenge, which this week was good. I mean, it shows more the slow burn heel turn for Cody, which I'm a fan of because I know he does make a really good babyface, but it's also like he does have good heel work too. We haven't really seen that in a long time. I feel like since like New Japan, was he a heel?
Yeah,
that's like the last time I could think. And I don't think we've really seen anything since. You could say he was the heel against Dustin, but that definitely changed at the end of the match because we saw what happened. But yeah, that was it. Going over to NXT, Great American Bash happened at the same time as this. And the big thing, I guess, to take away, which goes into, I guess, our superstar of the week, is that we got a double champion, boys. And it's not the last time you hear about double champions in this episode. Trust me. Because on night 2 of the Gab, I guess I'm going to call it that because abbreviations are fun. Keith Lee beat Adam Cole in the main event. I thought they wouldn't go with a clean finish personally, but wow, they did. How do we feel about this?
I'm all for it. I think it's great. The I think people backstage see Keith as like the next big star coming up. Vince definitely likes him from, seeing that from his performance in Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. So yeah, no, I think it's a great decision that they put both belts on Keith.
How are you feeling about it too?
Honestly, I love it. I'm a very big Keith Lee fan, and to see this was like the happiest I've been. On Wednesday when I saw that, I literally jumped out my seat and screamed, "Finally!"
That's nice. Yeah, because like it was cool seeing how the start of the year he became North America champion, and then like I didn't have an idea of like when he would lose it, because I'm like, oh, he's gonna hold that for a while, and now he holds both titles, and I was shocked by that. But it's also like there's a lot of double champions going around, and we'll talk about that in a later segment. But this also coincides with Superstar of the Week, because it is Keith Lee again. I think this is his second time winning, because he won it, I think, after Survivor Series last year. He won it at the end of the year. Well, the second to last episode. So he's a 2-time winner. I think, is he the first one? I think he might be the first one.
No, I think MJF's the first time.
Oh wait, didn't we change that though?
winner.
No, we changed that. It was going to be MJF that episode, but we changed it to FTR.
Oh, what's that one?
I was after Double or Nothing, because I wanted it to be MJF because of how he did at Double or Nothing and like what's coming up for him.
Oh, right.
But then Tim's like, how about FTR for debut? And I'm like, I guess. And that's like the only tag team that's ever won it, because I don't think we've ever had a tag team aside from them win Superstar of the Week. But yeah, I think it's a good pick. What's coming up for him? Because they had him face Dijak on Wednesday and he won. But the big thing that they're going to tease is Cross versus Keith. I think it's gonna be for both belts. I think.
Yeah, because that's what they did with Dijak. He gave him his first title shot, and it was for both belts. The match was kind of lame, in my opinion.
But they've also worked together a lot. Like they've worked together a lot. Like in the past year alone. Like they had like a bunch of TV matches. They had the match at TakeOver, which I thought was their best match. Like probably out of all of them in WWE. I'm not gonna count PWG is its own thing. And now they have this one too. And this could be like the last time they fight each other for probably a long time. Because there is the rumor that Dijak's gonna go to Raw, which I think works pretty well, because I think they do need like a big man like in the singles division on Raw, because they have a couple on SmackDown. So I think they could use it on Raw, have like more Haas fighters. And he's gonna face Cross next week. He's definitely gonna lose that. He's gonna lose that. I'm sorry. And that could be a send off from NXT. And we'll probably see him on Raw, probably the week after, like at least after SummerSlam. I think what he's gonna do, probably mid card stuff, unless they want to push him right away, because I think he's capable. But I think they might want to wait. Oh, Pritchard, I'm not the one booking the show. That's all I'll say. Sticking with NXT, it's also been recently revealed that some of like the main roster talent, and notably I think Kevin Owens is one of them, they actually just showed desire to go back to NXT in a report that I read. Now, I remember there was speculation that KO would go back like last year in the fall, but he showed up at War Games like, oh, what's this going to lead to? And it would kind of coincide with Survivor Series. That's all it really did. So with that, I think all other people that wanted to go back, I think Asuka wanted to go back for like a one-off or like a temporary period, probably because before she won the title. Naomi said she's wanted to go back. I think there's been a couple of, I can't remember how, there's like a couple of people that have wanted to go back, and I can't blame them, considering someone else pointed this out online, is that whenever someone gets called up, I bet they kind of miss like the days of like being able to like work in one location and like live with like their close friends from like who they work with at the PC, and like going on the road can like really give that feeling of like you miss that sort of thing. It's kind of like the human side of things. I don't know. Like, what do we think about the idea of like people like KO and like other people who feel like they aren't doing much being allowed to go back? Because we've seen like how it's been with Balor. Like, do you think it could also have the same success for the others that I listed?
Possibly, but it's also not everyone's Finn Balor. We see it with like Breezango. Like they're great, big stars. They went back to NXT. They haven't done too much.
I mean,
what they've
one
done
that was
is
injured
great.
for a while, to be fair.
Yeah. But it's also, I think they're thinking, oh, since I'm on the main roster, everyone knows me, I'm going to go to NXT and be a star. That's not necessarily the case, because they have their own system, their own stars down there.
And they're trying to like also maintain like, okay, this is the new generation that needs to kind of keep what they are. Because I think one of my things, like when Balor was back there and he was going for the UK title, I'm like, they can't have Walter lose this, because like they've put so much stock into him. And everything that's happened like since Survivor Series, you kind of need to keep building him back up because of what happened there. Like they did a good job with that Worlds Collide of like helping them, and like he was ready to be like a big star, like be like a big threat like from there. But then obviously COVID happened, so we haven't been able to see him. But if that match did happen, I do think that Walter would have beat Balor just to give him more stock and like show him like this guy is a big deal. Here is why. But now it's like Balor is kind of like more of a mid card guy, and I think he's still going after the North American title, or at least wants it. I don't know. I don't think we saw him this week.
No, I
So-
feel like he's not really on TV every single week, or like every other or every 2 weeks we see him. It's not
Yeah.
too often.
I mean, yeah, it's true. Maybe it's just like they don't know what to do right now, considering they're trying to figure things out for Keith. But it looks like it's very much
Yeah.
going to be Cross. And like since he has both belts, it can make things tricky. That's like the thing about a double champion. It's like it can make things like hard to book around if you're trying to like book like multiple feuds at once. Because you have Keith in his main event feud with Cross, but like if that's for both belts, what about the mid card scene? You're gonna need like mid card feuds with like no title on the line. We saw it with Roddy and Dexter, and I think they do need other stuff to like that can fill the void. Oh, and Priest versus Grimes is a thing too. I think it's over now because I know Priest won. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
there's like three big guys who haven't done anything. There's Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa.
We haven't seen Ciampa since he lost at Takeover.
Yeah,
They had a video about him, but that's really it.
Yeah, but that's three big stars that don't have anything going on right now.
And like a year and a half ago, those guys were like doing like they were all in the main event scene.
Yeah,
Even though Ciampa was like gone for a little bit, he was still like a main event player when he came back.
yeah, and we don't know when we're going to see Adam Cole next.
Yeah, we haven't seen him. We didn't see him this week, and like the speculation is maybe they'll go to Raw, which I doubt. I think they kind of need to like do like a big angle to write them off NXT. See what people think, because like I guess like you can. I think they will work on whichever show they go to. Probably Raw, because like Raw needs more of like the fresher names, and like they could use like a stable of their own. So I guess aside from the Beatdown Clan, just SmackDown as New Day. And like they could do something, but I think they might want to wait a little bit and like plan things out before like they go, all right, you guys are going to Raw, here's what you're gonna do. And pretty sure we'll take over from there. And like there's the whole stable worry, like Vince doesn't like stables. I mean, at least New Day's New Day's more of a tag team right now because Xavier Woods is injured. And I don't know. It's weird. But I think whenever they do go up. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think New Day has been able to stay like a stable. It's because they've been like the top merchandise sellers. And if Vince breaks that up, that's a whole big piece of revenue
it's
that's
rough.
gone.
Yeah, that's right. Even like when Kofi was like champion, they still made it work because he was still a singles guy, but he still had everybody else. He still had the rest of them, which is fine. So like whenever Xavier is back, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like they've been doing fine on SmackDown anyway. They're just tag champions right now. And we have to do predictions. We have to add that prediction, and after this is over, because that was a match I added last night. I did mine in the document. We'll do it after. Yeah, it's tricky, but like I don't think Undisputed Era should split up. I don't think you should put Cole on his own because I don't think that's a good idea. You have to like introduce him to whichever show he's going to be on as like, here's him, here's his group, here's what they're all about, and then they do whatever they need to. Like, go ahead.
They definitely work better, especially in like the main roster. They would work definitely better together as a unit. Because like I really don't see Vince seeing Roderick Strong as a star or Kyle O'Reilly as a star,
which
or
sucks.
Even like
because like Kyle as a singles guy works really well.
Yeah, and then him and Bobby Fish as Red Dragon. Vince hates tag teams, so they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, because like the SmackDown, no, not SmackDown, the Raw tag division, they have like good teams on paper, but they just aren't given much to do. Like with the they're War Machine. They are War Machine. We're not calling them with other names. We see what happened with them. They were great in NXT, and then Raw happened.
Now they're a joke.
Yeah, and they lost a tag match on Raw this week. They lost an elimination tag, and it's like what the fuck. Like remember Takeover New York? How good that match was? Because it feels like it never happened. And then Ricochet in the tag division always felt weird to me. Like the team of Cedric isn't really going anywhere. I feel. But like the MVP thing,
it's because they killed it off right away with that fluke win to whoever those Australian guys. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink, who I think Vince apparently likes. We have not seen him since that, which is I don't even know who these guys are. Remember when the 24/7 title when he had to fucking lose to fuck was his name? Oh, Riddick Moss when he was shamed for that weird period. I'm like, why?
That weird ass period.
Yeah, that was a very strange period. He hasn't been on TV since I think COVID happened because I think he might not be around or just doesn't want to be there, like kind of like Sammy.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's really weird. Like the whole state of things on Raw, like mainly for the men. I think the women are doing better because they're having more people show up now. Because they had Bianca come back, they had Shayna show up, so they're having like more of them show up. And I'm wondering what it'll look like after Sunday. But I think I mentioned this in the predictions video, was that I know Kyrie has said that she would like a match of Asuka if she retains, which I think she's going to. So I think that could be like her send-off at SummerSlam if they do that match. Because there's that whole situation about like, oh, is she leaving? Is she going? Like, is she staying? We don't know. It's a whole weird situation. But if she is going to leave, I do think like the big match of Asuka is a good way to go out. Like they can have like a nice moment at the end where they shake hands, they hug, and then that's the last we see of her. We'll see. And it's just about it for that front in WWE. So let's go over to the East, like East Asia, where so New Japan's on fire, and when I mean that, I mean literally. So they took. I guess I don't know. This is just crazy how this all happened. So we all know how the New Japan Cup happened. You also how Evil won. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then he joined the Bullet Club. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And I'm like, there's no way he's gonna win, right? Like, Naito's gonna win. We're gonna move on. They'll have Evil be like more of like an upper main event guy. He'll lead the stable for because Jay White's not there. Oh no, Evil won. And Naito's lost. And Naito lost everything, and everything is Evil. And I'm like, what?
Oh my god!
Like,
well, you could tell during the match, like Naito didn't look like himself because I guess he was so emotionally hurt, or just like hurt by Evil.
Maybe throw like an angle. Throw like an angle in a match.
Evil was his first disciple in LIJ.
Shit, now he's gonna join Bullet Club. He's the new leader because Jay White's not there. So that's crazy. And then he beat him. And it's like, oh shit. And then there's the whole not Bushi came out. It's Dick Togo because he was disguised as Bushi, but you can tell he's like more ripped than Bushi, which is hilarious.
So much more muscular. Like, that's not Bushi. What?
Yeah, exactly. And then he unmasked anyway. So I don't know much about Dick Togo. He's from another promotion. Is that right? I don't know which one I heard.
I think he was in New Japan for a little bit. He was one half of Kai and Tai with Taka Michinoku when Kai and Tai was in New Japan.
Oh, okay. But because I remember Kai and Tai from WWE because we all know that angle.
Oh yeah, not
we all know
Taka
that.
And
yeah, no, that was
Funaki.
Yeah, Funaki in that one. This is the New Japan version.
Funaki.
Yeah, Funaki still not 24/7 champion because they didn't pull the trigger on it. Hell in a Cell. Feels bad, man. Yeah, it's and look what they're gonna do from here. I know they're gonna do Hiromu versus Evil for both belts, and much as I'd like Hiromu to win, I don't think so. And also, what's gonna happen with the Never belts? Because like Evil still has them with the other two. Yeah. Are they just gonna like vacate them, or is he just not gonna? He's just not gonna show up.
I think that's how they're gonna make a match, and then it's just gonna be
Bushi and Shingo.
Bushi and Shingo just going to show up.
And Bushi's going to lose the title because, they don't have Shingo lose. So Shingo will lose. Well, he's still never champion because he beat Sho. And because I think he has to focus on the Never division or whatever he's doing next. And he beat Sho. I don't know what he's doing next right now because I know they need to figure things out for the fall, I think, because they're doing a bunch of time. So the next thing on their calendar is going to be the G1, which who knows what that's going to look like at this rate. For all we know, like maybe like Bushi will win that, and then we'll do Bushi and Evil at Wrestle Kingdom, which would be hilarious. Look, I wouldn't be surprised with how things are going. I don't know what their plan's going to be. Like, I think from what I heard, that was supposed to be Jay White and not Evil, which I think makes a lot more sense.
It makes more sense, and they just called an audible and just like, oh well, now we have a big turn. It's kind of a big shock.
A huge shock. It's like the guy that's named Evil turned on his friend, so it's like, oh, we can't be too shocked then.
But
that's a joke. But
can you argue like this is a better decision than have Jay White?
I think more people care about Jay White than Evil, though. Like, I think people were more into Jay White as leader of the Bullet Club than Evil was in like whatever position he was in LIJ. Like, people liked Evil. I like Evil, but like as like the main event champion, double champion, the guy that beat Naito, it's a bit whoa. You might want to slow down there.
Not like that necessarily, but the whole portrayal of it is that like that's a way better story than having Jay White win it.
Yeah, it's a good shock, but like having Evil then just win, it's like, oh shit, and like that caught me off guard. Like I thought they'd do something else like after like Evil would lose and they figure out like what they're gonna do in the meantime. Like maybe he doesn't maybe has good run in the G1, still looks good. Then maybe Jay White's back by then they can figure things out because now he's the leader. Jay White's not there. So it's like, what's gonna happen when Jay White comes back? Is there gonna be a dissension? Are they gonna like make Jay White leader again, like as like an agreement? Gato gonna book something crazy around that too, because Gato put this angle together.
Do another Bullet Club Civil War.
Yeah, because they did the Killer Elite squad, or that was Lance. Never mind. He's Suzuki. They did like the OGs versus the Elite alignment when the Elite left. Yeah. But I don't know. It's weird. Like I think they'll probably disagree, but like there's also the reports of like, well, when we talk about them, considering now they're with Impact, Gallows and Anderson, like whenever they show up in New Japan, that's going to be a thing too, because you're going to have them come back with the original guys, such as Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale. Is that it? Like for the original ones?
The original three was Prince Devitt, Carl Anderson, and Bad Luck Fale, and then it was Tama Tonga, and then it was originally it was all just non-Japanese wrestlers, all foreign guys, and then a couple. Now it's all Japanese because
Pretty much
travel.
you can't do
Yeah.
much because like Jay White's in America.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do when they come back. I'm sure Gato has a plan. They everything there is planned, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, Gato definitely got us though. I'll say that he screwed the hell
yeah.
out of us. But it's also like, Gato, what have you done? You took out Naito again. You just don't like him. You only did that. You only did that wrestling, and then Kenna beat him up, and it's like, damn it, Gato.
Oh yeah,
But,
and where's Kenta during all of this?
He's in Florida, isn't he? I heard he's in Florida.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I hear he lives in the States, which is crazy. But
and then we're gonna wait for him to come back too.
Yeah, so him and Jay White. I mean, they're doing stuff in America because they have like the stuff in the LA dojo. Yeah, they have that. They show up at that and do an angle. Rocky Romero's been there. Other people be there. That'd be fun. But it's crazy. I don't know what to expect. And also new tag champions and Dangerous Tekkers, which I'm like, whoa. I mean, all right. I thought Zach would kind of be a singles guy while he waited for Moxley to come back, but I guess this is a way to keep. But I think that I took away from Dominion was 3 of the 4 guys who did double gold dash in Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, they all lost because Jay White wasn't there, so you can't count him. But Ibushi lost, Okada lost because he lost the tag match, and then Naito lost. Like your big main event guys all lost at who all did great at Wrestle Kingdom all lost, which is crazy to say that like 6 months later. But I think that's about it there. I guess we'll go back to talking about Impact as we talked about briefly there. At time of recording, Slammiversary is tonight, and how we all feeling about it? We all getting excited, especially with that recent announcement they did at midnight.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. The Good Brothers are joining Impact. Probably gonna face the Rascals in that open challenge, which is kind of obvious.
Or they might shock and have like somebody else show up. I know Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona did tease something on Twitter. And Heath Slater is teased. Yeah, Heath Slater teased something as well for like the same date. So I don't know. I mean, I think Slater's more likely to do something with Rhino because Rhino did tease him. I think that's about it. I think there's also like reports of like Sting, but I'm like, I doubt Sting's going to be there because
Tim was saying like Sting, both the Dudleys are coming back, but Devon's the producer in WWE.
Yeah, no, you can't unless they agree to that.
Yeah. Who else did he say? He said a couple other ones.
Gail Kim apparently. But
Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if they will.
Yeah,
Rusev can't because he has COVID, unfortunately. Yeah. I think he definitely would have been there otherwise, I think.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think it'll be exciting because there's so much intrigue around this show considering the whole like real life implications of it. Because all the releases, and now we already know 2 people are going to be there. Now we'll see who else shows up tonight. Former Impact champions are showing up because they mentioned that in the main event. So we'll see who else shows up. I'm so like this is the first time I've watched Impact since Hard to Kill. You have to talk about how bad that night was for a lot of us.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. So
I think this is their most exciting show in a long time.
I think the last one I could think of was probably like Slammiversary last year or Bound for Glory last year. So that's what I can think of.
I can't remember of an Impact show that I've been like this excited for. And like, unfortunately, I can't watch it tonight. I got to work, but just to see what will happen.
We bought on Fight, so I guess we'll stick with the EC3 did tweet out about where he should go. I think it's all obvious it's going to be Impact because like he had a poll on his Twitter. It's like, oh, where should I go? He has like NXT. I'm like, wait, weren't you just fucking released? Unless you're trying to swerve us here. I mean,
and then in that little movie he did, he burnt his like WWE gear, his action figure, and his contract.
Damn. That's crazy. So he might have like a whole. Well, I heard he has like a whole new thing going on. He's essential character the third, not EC3.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has a goatee now.
He might be like a whole new gimmick if he shows up tonight. I'm excited for it either way. I hope he is the guy in the 4-way. Or could it be something else? I think it's just about it for the 1 count. Yeah, that's all I have written down. Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to mention. Nope.
Is it true that Charlotte and Andrade are getting married now?
Yeah, it's been a thing since I think like January.
Yeah, because I saw on Twitter that Andrade proposed.
Yeah, that was back in January, I think. And that's more of like real life stuff. I don't want to on that, but I think that's been confirmed for a while that they were engaged.
Yeah,
that's like how I think that's how like her year started. So like it's nice seeing. I already talked about her. Like it's nice seeing like how her like her personal life is getting better. I've heard like how like unsure she is of things behind the scenes, and like how her as a person is totally different. But I just hope things like work out. And I'm sure when she comes back, I think she'll be welcome back. As much as people give her shit, but like, look, we're not. That's not her. That's kind of like Vince and Pritchard telling her what to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me get to we're gonna play another round of this or that. So basically, it's where I name off a prompt and then you say which one you prefer and why. It'll be fun. We have some. It's getting like I said before we went live. It's just trickier to get stuff written down week by week because there's less stuff. There's less options, especially for AEW because it's still like a way newer promotion. But I tried what I could, and we'll go. So we have 10 WWE, 10 AEW ones, and then 10 miscellaneous ones. Get into place. Sorry, like when I opened the document, it it was timed out, so it had to refresh the page again. It's back at the top. That's it. Or sorry that I'm lagging at all in cameras because I had to load the page. Yeah, yep. Starting with WWE, let's go down the list. First one up: 3MB or the Job Squad.
3MB.
Job Squad.
Ooh, I'm
3MB.
gonna go with 3MB too. Like I know the Job Squad's a fucking meme too, but like I think I just knew 3MB better because I grew up. I experienced more of them.
Job Squad was a meme before memes were invented.
That's true. That's Attitude Era.
Yeah, they were like the original wrestling trolls.
Yeah, they were. That was like the original. That was the original one, but like I can't go wrong with like 3MB's entertainment. And like, hey, I mean, they're all still around too. All right, let's go for managers in this one. Bobby Heenan or Paul Heyman, strictly as managers.
Paul Heyman.
Bobby Heenan.
Ooh,
I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
I'm gonna say Heyman, but like Bobby Heenan's such a good manager.
Bobby Heenan had the Heenan family. There was like one WrestleMania who was at every match.
That's true. He also did a lot of commentary. But we're not gonna count commentary here. It's just more as a manager. Because like
he did managing from the commentary. The '92 Rumble. He was managing Flair at the time, and he just hyped Flair the whole time.
And Flair won, so he was right.
That was one of the reasons that Royal Rumble is one of the greatest of all time. Is Bobby Heenan on commentary?
Fair enough. I mean, Heyman was going to commentary too, but he was more of like an asshole. Like he was such a dick usually to like he was hyped. He hyped ECW a lot, but look how ECW turned out in WWE, unfortunately. So yeah, I think Heenan had more success, but like I've always enjoyed Heyman. It's kind of like another thing that's like I grew up with Heyman, but it's also like I don't want to be that guy because they're both great managers. But like Heenan's also arguably the greatest of all time for managers, but Heyman's also such a good advocate for people too.
My favorite line Heyman has ever done. The only reason you won the championship is because Triple H didn't want to work on Tuesdays.
Oh, no, that was one night stand. Yeah. Fucking JBL got destroyed, and then JBL beat up Blue Meanie. You don't know about that story. Let's go for a match in this one. So we have Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle in an Iron Man match on SmackDown, or Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk from SummerSlam 2013.
You already know my answer.
Yeah, Iron Man match.
They're both so good. Oh, way better than the Punk match, really.
It's way better. They went an hour and Lesnar completely destroyed Angle and then he was just playing with him. So his score was so much higher than Angle's that he just to have fun with it, just got himself disqualified on purpose, like hit him with chairs just to like get the score more even.
So he was just an asshole to him. I know it almost fucking came back to bite him in the ass, but he still won.
Because at the end, like Angle came back and like put Brock in the ankle lock,
but he didn't tap.
Brock held out until the time ran out.
He didn't tap. But like, do you think Punk should have won at SummerSlam?
At 2013?
13, yes. He wasn't champion by this point.
Brock Lesnar in 2013 was not gonna lose to CM Punk.
Yeah, because like Brock when he first came back was such a weird situation because like he came back to a lot of fanfare. He lost to Cena, which was weird. And he beat Triple H, and Triple H had that weird angle where it's like, is he retiring? Is he not? Then he lost to Triple H at Mania. Then he beat him in a steel cage match at Extreme Rules, which nobody really remembers. And it was kind of like he was just kind of like lingering. We didn't know like what they had planned for him. But then like the Punk match happened, it kind of like took off from there because then he won the titles the next year, and things got a lot better. What happened to Mania 30? But let's not talk about that. Speaking of Mania 30, we got pay-per-views to pick from: Money in the Bank 2011, which was 9 years ago yesterday, or Mania 30.
Money in the Bank 2011. I love that. I love that pay-per-view so much.
Mania 30.
I'll go with Mania 30 too. It's also WrestleMania, but like you can't deny how good Money in the Bank 2011 was. It was Bryan winning both belts, Cesaro winning the Battle Royal, like everything Bryan did. Bryan also worked double duty that night. What else we had? I'm trying to think what else happened on that show.
Undertaker streak
ending. AJ Lee's last title defense.
Bray Wyatt, John Cena.
Or no, one of her last ones. Bray Wyatt. Oh, the one that went wrong. The one that didn't go as we wanted. They wrote the wrong, so maybe it wasn't as bad.
Mhm.
What else was on that show? The opening promo with The Rock and all the legends. That was cool. Let's see. Anything else?
There was a six-man tag. It was the Shield versus
There was like a
Kane
squash
and
match.
the New Age Outlaws. Yeah, it was only like 6 minutes.
I thought it was like a minute and a half. And it was really short.
It was short.
Yeah, it's very much a squat, and that's like one of the last like Shield matches before like they imploded.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Evolution feud after, then everything went wrong.
Yep.
Let's go for title reigns. Asuka's NXT Women's Champion or Shayna Baszler's NXT Women's Champion?
Shayna Baszler, NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Asuka. I liked Asuka's reign more, but like I think Asuka had the better matches between them. But you can't argue like maybe like the feuds maybe were built up better with the Baszler one. It's also, but they're also like both really dominant champions. They're probably the top 2 women's champions in their history so far. Oh, fantasy booking time, or like what you would have done. So you can only book one of these matches. You can either book Angle vs Undertaker at Mania 22, or you can book Sting vs Undertaker at Mania 27.
Sting versus Undertaker, because we saw Angle Undertaker. Well,
No Way Out. That was a No Way Out.
No Way Out, but we've seen Angle Undertaker as Undertaker's American Badass, but that was the first time we saw like the Dead Man versus Angle. But we've seen that. We haven't seen Undertaker.
Like on a Mania level with like the world title on the line, which probably should have been at that Mania, but they did right, which was fine though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably say Sting too though, because that was heavily rumored at the time, and we'd never seen it before. So like they would have been such a big deal, but Sting went back to Impact anyway, so it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. But there was that whole vignette too of like him coming out of the building with like the Johnny Cash music, and I'm like, oh, what's this? But we only was Taker. We just didn't know who he would be facing. There was that whole rumor. Let's see. I guess we'll go back to the women. This is a women match. Pick one. So it's Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in Last Woman Standing match, or Becky Lynch versus Sasha in Hell in a Cell. Which one would you rather see, or which one do you prefer?
I haven't seen either of them.
Really? I thought you saw the I thought we all saw the Hell in a Cell one for some reason.
I thought we did too, but I just can't remember it.
It was the one good thing about Hell in a Cell. I know that. I'll say that.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen Evolution at all.
That review coming soon.
I know that was like 2 years ago. Oof.
It's weird. They've also been trying to like maybe they're doing another one. We don't know, but
oh yeah, Tessa Blanchard's debuting.
We don't. God damn it, Stephanie! What are you thinking? That's how it fucking might end too. God damn it. Oh boy, it's gonna be a mess when that happens. We don't know if it's even happening, but it's all the rumor. But like, Trent, do you have a pick on that one?
I gotta go with the Hell in the Cell match.
I'm going Last Woman Standing. Last Woman Standing had the better story going in, and it had like the bigger payoff. But you know, they're both great. They're probably like her top 2 matches. She actually also really good stipulation matches in general. But fair enough. Weirder title reign: Randy Orton is U.S. champion, or Rob Gronkowski is 24/7 champion.
Randy Orton.
It's like, what did he do? I forget. Like, he kind of forgot that he had that belt. It was
no, he won it at like what Fastlane.
Fastlane
at WrestleMania.
Jinder Mahal won it, and like I think he pinned Rusev. He didn't even pin Orton.
Yeah,
which is weird. All right, back to match preferences. This is going to a very famous feud that we all like: Sammy versus KO at Battleground 16, or Sammy versus KO at NXT Takeover Rival.
Battleground 16.
Yeah, Battleground 16.
Battleground 16. Even though the story in the NXT match was awesome, like you can't deny how good the Battleground match was. And last one for WWE, it's a gimmick one: Booker T or King Booker.
King Booker.
King Booker.
Yeah, King Booker.
Because he just put everything into that, and it was amazing.
He was such an asshole. I hated him, but like that means he was doing his job right.
It's so good. He just everything was just over the top, and
he had the King's Court with Finley. I think Regal was there too, and then he had
Regal
Sharmell.
And Finley,
and Sharmell was Queen, which was funny. He had the feud with Batista was fun. SmackDown at that time was hilarious. All right, let's go over to AEW. Pentagon or Phoenix?
Pentagon. Which, did you notice that he didn't do his face paint for Fight for the Fallen?
Oh, he didn't?
No, I noticed that.
He usually does, because his mouth usually painted. I noticed that because he has his mask. He had a new mask too. It's like he had the other side like blinded out, kind of like how Ray has it on Raw. So I'm like, oh, interesting. Eye for an eye match, maybe. Schmidt, did you have a pick?
No. Yeah, I said Pentagon.
I want to say Phoenix actually. I think Phoenix has stuck out more so far in AEW, but yeah, like they're both so good. But I prefer Phoenix like right now. Who has the brighter future? Ricky Starks or Kip Sabian?
Kip Sabian.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Kip Sabian.
Ricky Starks, easily. But that's also because I know how well he was in NWA. Stipulation match preferences: Escalera de la Muerte or Moxley vs. Janela at Fyter Fest 19.
Moxley versus Janela Fyter Fest.
A lot of match.
So you mean Escalera?
Escalera de Muertes, yeah.
That one's kind of tough actually. I'm going to Escalera, even though it kind of was more of a spot fest after a while. Plus Nick almost died in that match. It was scary. Plus we also the LX debut, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, women's division: Big Swole or Nyla Rose?
Big Swole, because I think she just got so much swag. She
has a lot of charisma, like naturally, but so is Nyla. Nyla's a good talker, but like the whole Vicky thing, I think is kind of weird.
Nyla's gotten a lot better. I don't think she needs Vicky.
No, I think someone else could use it, but like she's improved a lot from where she started.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so in and out with her, but like no, she is like at the end of the day she is good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say? Wait, Schmidt, did you say yours?
Yeah, Big Swole.
Maybe also Big Swole there. I need to recap what Tim said. I'll do that at the end. Let's see. Let's go over to tag team preferences. So do we like Kazarian tagging with CD or Kazarian tagging with Scorpio Sky more? You don't have to go to well on a lot of these. You could.
I think you got to go with the Addiction because I think Scorpio Sky is the younger. I think he's gonna be he's the breakout star of the group.
Like he'll be the singles guy if they break up.
Yeah,
it's like CD will probably be more of an agent like eventually because he's getting older.
I gotta agree with Eric.
Like, yeah, I can agree because I think like they've been a tag team for so long. Like Scorpio Sky's like the singles guy of the group. I thought it was funny when they were both in the ladder match and they had to fight each other right away though. Finishers: do we like Brian Cage's Drill Claw or Lance Archer's EBD Claw?
Lance Archer's.
Oh no, but that Drill Claw is pretty dope.
Devastating.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
I'm gonna go with Drill Claw. I almost said the Blackout instead, but like you see Lance would match just more with EBD Claw.
Yeah, and I think like even if Brian Cage like somehow goes to WWE, he's never gonna be able to do it there.
I know he denied WWE because he said he would like AW more because he'd have more control over what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said he had more better match options in AW than WWE, which works. I don't think he's worked for anybody really in WWE. He's always been like more of an indie guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, fantasy booking. You could book one or the other. Omega versus Brian Cage or Page versus Moxley.
Page versus Moxley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Page versus Moxley. I think you can get more out of that character-wise. You know, Omega versus Cage is something they've hyped for a while, but I think Page versus Moxley could be an awesome either world title feud or like something that elevates them to the main event. See if Moxley was a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Pay-per-views, Full Gear or All Out?
All Out.
Yeah, All Out.
Full Gear. I actually preferred Full Gear a little more to All Out. I think All Out's probably the weakest pay-per-view I've seen from them, but that's probably because I wasn't as invested. I think Full Gear had the better stories going in, but they're both good at the end of the day. All right, Taz as a commentator or Taz as a manager?
Taz as a manager.
Well, he kind of does both because, like, when he does commentary, he still talks up Brian Cage. He does like a Bobby Heenan kind of thing.
That's true. I go as a manager more right now because I think he's been awesome as a manager so far.
So yeah, no, I have to agree.
I didn't think Cage needed him at first, but now I'm realizing, oh shit, like this is Taz. Like he's also giving him something to do, even though he lost the title match.
Yeah, no, I think it works.
Yeah, it works really well. And then would you rather have MJF as AEW World Champion or Darby Allin as TNT Champion?
MJF is world champion.
Yeah, MJF is world champion.
Yeah, world champion. As much as I'd like Darby as TNT champion, which I think it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later, compared to MJF as world champion. But I think MJF as world champion would be like such a big deal, and he'd be such a dick about it and everything. Like he'd be such an asshole. All right, and now for the etc. ones, like this could be anything. Stipulations: Last Man Standing or Ultimate X Match?
Last Man Standing.
Yeah, Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing. Boulder booking decision. This is timely. Evil as double champion or Jinder Mahal as WWE champion?
Which
is Boulder
champion.
Jinder Mahal, in my opinion.
Oh, Boulder? Oh,
yeah,
the
Boulder.
Oh, Jinder Mahal is WWE champion.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jinder as well.
But that was more of a business decision because that's what they were just launching the network in India.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
they wanted
why
the Indian market when Jinder Mahal is Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think. Hey man,
yeah,
sure.
That's right.
He is Canadian. Let's see. I don't know if I did this one before, but I don't think I did. So this is leadership preferences. Bullet Club with Prince Devitt as leader, or Bullet Club with Omega as leader?
Bullet Club of Prince Devon.
Devitt.
I would say Devitt. The OG. It's the OG, the elite version, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the elite version did get more of a mainstream
Because like BT and everything.
popularity.
Plus
Yeah,
it was more established then, I feel like.
but it wouldn't if it wouldn't. They wouldn't have that without Prince Devitt.
You're gonna say Devitt?
Yeah.
Say Devitt as well. Even though like the elite era was really good. Let's see. Better wrestling meme. A little bit of the bubbly or Steiner math.
Steiner math.
Steiner
If
Math.
Sam was here, he would say Steiner math right away, probably. Okay. Fantasy booking in this one. You can only book one of these matches. Walter versus Okada or Walter versus Omega.
Walter versus Omega.
Really hard one.
Yeah, probably Omega.
Let's say Okada actually, because I think that's a match they could really gel with. I think they both have they have like similar styles. So, you know, Okada can kind of do everything, but I think they would tell such a great story. And I think like the build to that would be really good if it was in New Japan. All the press conferences, like all the hype to it, like this big gaijin coming in from Austria trying to get into the heavyweight division. I think it'd be really good. But like the Omega match would also be amazing. And let's go back to gimmicks. Let's go to the new generation era. Bastion Booger or Mantar.
Jesus Christ.
Mantar.
Bastion Booger, because he actually had more matches and more TV time because he was also Friar Ferguson.
Oh, that's true. He was Friar Ferguson. Forgot about that. I'm gonna say Bastion Booger. Also, yeah, that theme song with the fucking noise in it. It's so dumb. It's so bad. I had to do something stupid because I did the fucking reverse battle royal or a flag match last time. I had to do something like that.
Oh man.
All right, you could sign one talent to a promotion. Do you sign Eli Drake to WWE or Sami Callihan to AEW?
Sami Callihan to AEW.
Yeah, because Sami Callihan, because he's so creative. He's so, I think he's super underrated for how creative he is. Because even when he was back with WWE, he helped Cody with the Stardust gimmick.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was the one that kind of like really formed it and like really helped Cody find it and develop it. Like for how crazy and like not good it was.
How
like,
weird it was.
Try to make it work.
He did the best he could with it, and also like, I think his like hacker gimmick kind of originated that he's doing right now. It originated in NXT when he was Solomon Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's an Impact, he kind of has that going right now because he's on his own now in Impact. He's not with OVE anymore.
Yeah.
And I think with like Eli Drake, I think he's incredibly charismatic, and I think he would do so much in like the entertainment value of WWE. So it's kind of hard. I'm going to say, I think for creative reasons, I would put Callahan in AEW instead because I think Eli Drake is fine where he is in NWA, and if he wants to open Impact,
if they even survive.
Corgan's saying no to that, so I'm gonna trust the president more than anybody else.
All right.
New Japan related question: Tanahashi or Suzuki?
Suzuki.
In what aspects, though?
I guess in general, like who do you like more? I guess like as a person, I guess like as like a and star, I'd say Tanahashi, but like Suzuki is just so good too.
Yeah, Suzuki's like he's just like that scary guy. That
he's a living legend. They're both living legends.
Yeah, he's gonna kill someone, and you want to watch it. But Tanahashi is like, he's the face of New Japan. He's
always been there.
He's the ace. He's been the face of the company for 20 years. And
so it's good matches. He's in great shape too.
I think.
The match with Jericho wasn't good. I'll say that. I did not like that match.
I think Tanahashi looks good, but I don't think he's feeling good.
It's true, considering how much he's been through. But I still think he can have a good match. Like, he can still do it. But, like not as much as he used to, like in the mid to late 2000s and like the 2010s.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be fine. He'll probably settle down eventually. But we'll see. I'm going to say Tanahashi, though. We have Suzuki and Tanahashi. Would you say Tanahashi as well, Eric?
Yeah, I'll go Tanahashi.
All right. Stipulations. The Doomsday Cage match from Uncensored 95 or the Count from Hell match?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is when Hogan and Savage beat everybody. That's the Doomsday Cage. Count from Hell, we all know.
Count from Hell, because they have the dogs just taking shit.
That one.
Taking shit on ringside.
It's funnier. That's fair. And then lastly, you erase one event from history. Do you erase Hogan joining the NWO or do you erase Mankind winning the WWF title on Raw? Really hard one. Both of these help the other company in a big way.
Hogan joining NWO, because if it wasn't Hogan, it would have been Sting, and I would see
You
how
would have
that
preferred
plays
that.
out.
Yeah, you probably would have. We probably would have preferred that in the long run.
Or it's like that's like a good other option to like. Oh, I would want to see that because like, what's the other option with Mankind? He just lost again.
Because he kind of traded with The Rock at that point. It was very back and forth. I'll run through what Tim said in his. All right, Tim. So let's go from the top. He gave in like right before I started. So Tim said 3MB, Bobby Heenan, the Iron Man match with Brock. It's a Mania 30. He picked Asuka over Shayna. Angle versus Taker. He'd rather book Becky and Hell in a Cell. He said Gronk. He said take over rival for KO Sammy.
Wow.
He said Booker T and not King Booker. Pentagon, Ricky Starks, Escalera, Nyla, bad influence like almost all of us. Drill Claw, Hangman Moxley, preferred All Out. He picked Taz as a commentator more. MJF as world champ. Ultimate X. He picked the Ultimate X match over Last Man Standing. Jinder Mahal's Boulder. Prince Devitt leadership. Steiner Math. Walter Omega. Mantar. Eli Drake WWE. Minoru Suzuki. The Doomsday Cage. He would erase Hogan joining NWO. So we think we all just waste with Sting. That's pretty much what you do around it. Because I was worried, like, oh, what happens if like it doesn't happen? Then it's like,
Yeah.
you know, Bullet Club and all those other factions that came out of this. But we just replaced with Sting. It'd probably work out better long term wise. Because probably would have aged better. Because Hogan is as we found out, we don't like him. But that is it for this or that. Next time we will probably do another one. Considering Tim won't be back from hiatus yet, we will try and bring back the lightning round of the writer's room, which is what Tim's game is, and we will think of another game. Eric might do a quiz game eventually on the show, but once we get closer to Tim's return next month, we will figure out what game we want to do. Anyway, coming to the sponsor break, we're going to take a quick sponsor break. The sponsor for today's episode is none other than, speaking of Tim, Steam Dream. It's a coming YouTube/Twitch channel. He's had this YouTube channel for a while. We've talked about it before. It's actually what we originally started as like our operating banner before we evolved into our kind of our own thing. Tim is launching his Twitch channel on August 1st. He'll having a merch store for both the Shoot Style Sauna itself and his own channel alongside my Twitch stream. And we'll be all collaborating on merchandise ideas, getting a store out there alongside whatever he's going to be doing. He'll be doing his D&D game he'll be broadcasting on Twitch. He'll be doing other video game stuff, and it should be fun. That is going to be twitch.tv/thesteamdream. Again, twitch.tv/thesteamdream. Coming on August 1st. And moving into our final segment of the day, we're going to go into the sauna seat, and we will talk about Double Champions. Yep. We talked about a lot about this episode, and I think we're going to end it off like that. So, if we take the Double Champion banner right now, I guess we have, once triple champion, because Evil has 3 belts, but we don't know how long that's going to last. We have a couple of them. So on one side, I guess we have 3 we can look at. So our first one is Evil, the most recent one, I guess next to Keith Lee. We have Keith Lee, who we've talked about already. And then we have, on the women's side of things, we have Bayley, because she holds the SmackDown and the women's tag titles right now. So breaking them down, who do we think has the ability to have the best reign out of the 3?
Probably Evil, because I don't know because Keith Lee is going up against Karrion Kross next, it seems like, and I don't think Karrion Kross is going to take a loss this early.
Can't take a loss like right away because like you kind of have to put the title on him. It sucks to keep up to lose right away. Plus, they really draw things out, but let's say like Keith do a lot in between whenever their matches. Because I think this Takeover, the one on paper, is in August. They want to do it. I don't think they're going to do like a TV special instead, or do like their own Takeover on a Sunday. But we'll see. I don't know what their plan's going to be because they can't be in Boston for obvious reasons. So I was going to say Keith, but it's almost like there is that element. It's like if he just faces Crossroad, he's going to lose. So he's going to have nothing again. He's probably going to leave for one of the big shows after that. It'll be Raw or SmackDown, or unless they have him have like a big farewell feud. I don't know.
Because also with Evil, like he has the ability to have a longer reign and have a bunch of stories with it. He still has his stuff with Naito. He's gonna have his stuff with Hiromu next. He can
Sonata
with Bushi, and we still haven't seen anything from Sonata, his longtime tag team partner.
As his tag partner, who they won tag belts with.
He was the one I was waiting to see what would happen. I was like, his absence could be a good thing though. It could like show a sign of how hurt he is by Evil's betrayal that he's not even going to show up. And
maybe Sonata's in on the whole thing. That'd be crazy if he was in on the whole thing.
But like he's just so betrayed, like he just wasn't there, and then he's going to get him at a later date. but I'm excited to see when that happens. That's the thing I'm
That
most
could be
excited
like
about.
that could be like either like that could be Wrestle Kingdom for all we know. If they might do Sonata versus Evil for if he's still champion then.
Yes, Sonata is gonna he's motivated by getting revenge on Evil, and then he's just gonna plow through the G1 and then take him at Wrestle Kingdom.
Which I think that's a story to tell. I wonder how they would go about it, because I know some people feel like they can't really invest in Sonata compared to other people, but I think if they can do something, like give us a reason to care, which I think this is the story to do it, this could be a way for people who would really invest in Sonata and really cheer for him at the Tokyo Dome.
He is the Cold Skull, so like he's supposed to be like calm, methodical,
And
but
not like show like emotion. But this could be like the thing that does.
Mm-hmm. And this will just like add more to Sonata's character.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what they do, because like we don't know what's going to look like months from now. Like who knows what the happen with Japan, like in general, for allowing people back in, or for people are allowed to come back. So it's tough, but it's like there is potential there. I just don't know what they have planned for what's coming up. On what their shows are going to be in between wrestling, like King of Pro Wrestling. There's some other shows they like to do with the tag leagues, whatever they want to do with that. So there's a lot they still have a lot to do. There won't be Takahashi's probably going to lose, unfortunately, but he still has a junior title at least. And I think maybe Ishimori he's going to face off for it eventually. Ooh, I can't think of anybody else in the junior division that they have available right now. But we'll see. On Keith's side, it's just tough because like Keith is in the cross situation. He doesn't really have a lot to work with beyond him. So it's like Thatcher's pretty much a mid card right now. Like I would put Thatcher for the North American title if they could like, do it individually. And I'm trying to think of other people they have. Cole just lost. Roddy lost to Loomis. I think that feud's over now. Dexter Loomis is feuding with somebody else. Priest has lost to Keith multiple times before. It's tough because I think they have the potential there, but if they just give it to Cross, it's like, oh, you can just start over with Cross and then go from there. But like, who would be Cross in the future? That's neat to build towards if they don't have to be Keith. But I think if they had Cross beat Cole, then Keith win, I think that would have been better.
Yeah, and I think if they to split up the belts, you're going to have to need a heel to win the belts, and then at like a takeover or whatever, they could have 2 title matches because you're like, oh, I'll defend both belts, and then you have 2 baby faces win.
Tough.
Kind of like what they did with Seth Rollins when he was WWE champion, US
he had
champion.
Both. Yeah, he did both in one night because he lost to Cena, but then he beat Sting.
Yeah, and then when in TNA, when Angle had
every belt,
every single belt, and like every New Japan belt, like he had 3 matches. He had an X Division match, a tag match with Sting, and then the world title match.
Yep. Did he fight Joe for the world title that night? Forget.
I think Joe was X Division.
Oh yeah, he might have been. Oh, he was X Division at the time, I think. Because I'm trying to remember what that show was like. Yeah, and then the Bayley side, it's kind of been we're trying to figure it out too, because like she has a match with Nikki on Sunday, which she will most likely win because I don't think Nikki has won one match in the last 2 months apparently, and I'm like, ow, that's your challenger. This isn't gonna go well. So, but it's like there's the whole thing. It's like, oh, they're gonna have them lose the tag belts, then they'll do the 1-on-1 match with Sasha. But it's like, and like SummerSlam, I imagine they got to figure it out, like how they're gonna do it. Because I think something's going to happen tomorrow at time of recording where they could tease him more. Like I think the way it's probably going to go down is that Asuka will beat Sasha because Bayley might inadvertently hurt Sasha's chances of winning. Like she might try and help her win, but it actually just backfires. Yep. And
that's what I predicted.
That's probably what's going to happen. Then they're going to have a fallout. Maybe they should be like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be tag champs anymore. Screws around the tag belts, and then there you go. We're going to whoever the fuck they face for the tag belts. It's just a lot of tag teams now. And then they'll do the match at SummerSlam unless they want to play this out. I don't know what they would do to play it out because I know apparently they have creative control from what I'm hearing. They're allowed to do whatever they want. That's why they've been on every show. That's what I've heard. Is that they have creative control, and that's why they've been on NXT fighting Io Shirai. That's why they've been on Raw a lot. That's why they've been getting all these matches. It's like they have the control. I don't know if this is true, but like I can see it considering all the matches that they've had lately. Because they fought the Kabuki Warriors, they fought Sasha fought Io Shirai on NXT. They're like every show except for NXT since then. They haven't been on since, but they've been around, and I mean it's working because people are into it. I mean, business wise, it's working. The ratings are hitting record lows, unfortunately, but I don't think we should blame them because it's more about thing. So it's tough, but I think if you think about it, I think Evil is probably the most potential. It's just a matter of what they have planned. I think Keith is back into a corner. And the Bayley Sasha one might be over sooner rather than later, because I think that one's probably going to end first. We have to say who was going to lose first, and it's probably going to be the Banks. I don't know who the tag belts will be lost to. I have no idea. I don't know who it would be. But that's what I could think of. If I just can't see Keith beating Cross because they're gonna want to put it on Cross.
Yeah,
You know,
if anything, Cross will get disqualified and Keith will retain, but
which that'd be kind of dumb because like you build this monster heel who squashed Ciampa and is going to beat Dijak next week just to lose Vegas. It's like I'm with the Fiend all over again. Because the Fiend that was a referee stoppage. And it's like ruin Hell in a Cell, which we've talked about many times on this channel before.
No,
we'll save it for another. We'll save it for a video. We'll save it for another video. But you know, I think they just need to. But I mean, it's also the argument that Cross is not long for NXT. Maybe he'll just go over to a Big Show if he doesn't win it. But like, I just think they need to give him some kind of rub. Whoever he puts over will look like a megastar. It won't be Keith in this case. It'll be somebody else. I'm trying to think about who it would be. It's like it could be somebody else they bring in. It could be like someone in the mid card. Could be like they can't. They wouldn't do Thatcher because he's more of a heel right now, and I think he's doing his own thing. It had to be somebody else, like maybe Priest if they wanted to really invest in him. He's more of a babyface these days. I think they'll figure it out, but it's a matter of what they want to do. Like if they do like a 3-way, if like Cole gets a rematch and you do Keith and Cross, Keith would pin Cole, and that's less to see of Cole, but like you don't want to do Cross like that.
Oh yeah, it's like they did at WrestleMania 2000 in that triple threat match. It was like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Jericho, and there was the U.S. and the European title. I mean, Intercontinental and European title on the line, and it kind of switched. It was 2 out of 3 falls. The first fall is for one title, the second fall is for the other title.
So you could do that where it's like Keith. Let's say Keith loses the NXT title because Cross pins Cole. And then Keith retains the NXT title because he pins Cole. And it's weird seeing with a mid card title, but it's like you give him a rub in some way because I think Keith deserves like an NXT title reign because I think I think it warrants some kind of like big title reign for the main title. And he doesn't really. You could say he doesn't really need the North American title at this point because he's already done a lot with it. He's had a lot of good matches. He's had a good reign. Pass over to Cross if you want. Give him like a monster reign for a bit. Have him lose to a mid card guy, and then or like put over this mid card guy who's gonna go to the main event eventually. And then there you go. I don't know who it would be. Again, don't know. But I think they could probably try and figure it out on their own time. But it's trying to think. We talked a lot about Evil. Bailey's kind of like it's kind of telegraphed for Bailey. So yeah, that's kind of what that one entails. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add to that though.
No, I'm good.
Say, I mean,
Evil's the best double champion.
Keith, but that might not be long for this world, unfortunately. I guess. I mean, hey, maybe an Impact considering the whole Moose situation. They might be doing like a they might do the whole angle thing again with like Moose and EC3 is what I'm thinking because you have EC3 win the world title.
Double champions.
Yeah, EC3 wins the world title. He goes after Moose because they tease that Moose thing with EC3, and they fight for both belts. And then EC3, one of them win all the belts. And they'll have to do the angle thing all over again because it's Impact. I think that'd be hilarious, but it might happen. I'd be kind of entertained by that. But beyond this, I think that's just about it for the Shoot Style Sauna today. Next time we'll be back for episode 20. That's going to be recording July 31st or August 1st. We'll figure that out or like in the days to come. So what's coming up? We have an Extreme Rules review from me coming. We have the Slammiversary review coming from Tim. We have a Dominion review and currently in the works. Is that right, Eric?
Yep, trying to work on it. Work schedule's crazy.
It's fair. Don't worry about it. And we have some other ones planned. We have our first top 10 list coming up. We have more classic reviews. I'll be doing Evolution in August coming up with the whole rumors around that. And some other stuff coming out. I'll have to look at we have a whole document outlining things. We also have a What If video talking about what if WCW won the Monday Night Wars coming out or coming soon. There's a lot coming. And I hope you're all excited for it. Watch out for the channel. Be safe. Be well. And Lars Ulrich did gay porn.
You stole my thing.
It's Tim's thing, to be fair.
Tim's thing.
It's Tim's thing. He's just not here. I mean, I'll say cancel David Starr. So, all right, guys. We'll see you all next time.